So I was having a beer with a friend, and he goes, "Hey, Maguff, what are some movies that you might recommend that I've never heard of before?" So I thought, hey, that's not a bad idea. Maybe I'll make it into a video. I've only seen like a billion movies, and there's definitely some gems out there that are either totally unappreciated or totally unknown. So this is a list of movies that I definitely recommend that you should check out. Heart Huckabees. First off, this is a David O. Russell film. I'm sure you're very familiar with his other work. The cast of this movie is stacked, and it's a talented cast, and they work beautifully with a great script. You start out with Jason Schwartzman. He goes to some existential detectives to figure out what's going on with this coincidence that he keeps noticing. It starts right there, and then it just expands into this web of people that have nothing and everything to do with one another. Yeah, it's good stuff. Also, this might be my favorite role that Mark Wahlberg's ever done. Yeah, might. I think it might be.
You say you're Christians living by Jesus' principles, but are you?
Yeah, of course we are.
Jesus is never mad at us if we live with him in our hearts.
I hate to break it to you, but he is. He most definitely is.
All right.
Did you get it? Yeah. I did. I felt it.
Your turn.
Now.
I think so. I Heart Huckabees. Check it out. Next up, we got Wrist Cutters, a love story. Oh man, I love this movie. It's funny, it's dark, it's heartwarming, it's a little bit everything. Wrist Cutters is about a dude, almost famous, that goes through a breakup and he kills himself. Surprise, when you commit suicide, you wake up in a world where everything is slightly worse. So the afterlife for a suicide victim is a world where jobs are worse, people are worse, food tastes worse, and no one can smile. He discovers that not long after he committed suicide, his ex-girlfriend also committed suicide, so he takes his best friend on a road trip to go find her. And you know how it goes. They meet interesting people along the way. And keep in mind that everyone that they meet in this world also did commit suicide as well, so it's pretty dark. The way this movie ends is fucking perfect. It's absolutely wonderful. There's not a better way to end that movie. It's perfect. 3 O'Clock High. This is actually one of my mom's favorite movies, so for me, I consider it an 80s classic. It turns out that not a lot of people have heard of it. 3 O'Clock High is about a guy in high school. His name's Jerry, and Jerry's having a really bad fucking day. He accidentally pisses off the new kid in school, Buddy Revell. Buddy then tells Jerry, hey, we're gonna fight at 3 o'clock.
You and me, we're gonna have a fight today after school. 3 o'clock in the parking lot.
And the rest of the movie is Jerry doing anything he possibly can to get out of the fight. Straight up, this movie has a lovable 80s flavor to it, and it's always good to see a dork stand up to his bully. That's the only 80s movie I have on this list. Go find it. Super! Shut up, crime.
Shut up, crime.
This is the last movie that James Gunn made before Guardians of the Galaxy and became James fucking Gunn. Rainn Wilson is in this, and he's very uncharacteristically shy and meek in this role. His wife is unwillingly persuaded into leaving him, and he gets desperate enough to become a vigilante superhero to take on this drug lord, Kevin Bacon, to get his wife back. This is a silly and kind of realistic take on what might actually happen if a regular guy became a superhero. And what might happen if this guy ran around beating criminals down with a wrench.
Don't steal. Don't deal drugs. Don't molest kids.
For the most part, it's a comedy, but the message that they deliver in the end of the movie, I find very thought-provoking. It's definitely not a conventional superhero ending. It's a realistic ending. And it leaves you with this like somber but satisfied feeling. It's really good. It's also surprisingly violent, and Ellen Page is fucking hilarious. Probably my favorite Ellen Page role. She has never made me laugh in anything else more than this. That's for sure. Last thing I got for you is The Babadook. The horror fans out there already know what's up. I'm just trying to pull this movie more into the mainstream if I can. This is one of the best horror movies I've seen in years, maybe ever. It definitely cracks my top 5. Easily. It's this absolutely well-rounded psychological experience. It's about a woman whose husband just died, and he left her behind with their young son. And this woman and her son are both grieving in their own way. A weird book shows up about the Babadook, and with the book comes the Babadook. The Babadook haunts them and drives them to confront grief in a way that left me overwhelmed. The way this movie expresses grief is very creative, and it's also creepy as fuck. The performances are also fantastic. Give Essie Davis a goddamn Oscar. If you're a horror fan and you haven't seen Babadook, get on that shit. It's great. All right, those are some movies that are under the radar that you should check out. If you'd like me to make more videos recommending movies, I've got about 1 million recommendations, so just let me know. What movies do you think are underappreciated? Tell me in the comments. All right, see ya. Subscribe.